Hello and welcome to a reboot of our Tribal Rimworld series. So, last time it went a little bit badly, but I have done some pre-planning for this one. We have a little plan down here, which I'm going to explain in a little bit. But first of all, let's introduce us to the 5 new people, 5 new colonists. Now, I have taken some names from the previous series and put in some new ones that were suggested. But we have one free slot currently of Grasshopper, who, if anybody would like to name one of our colonists, Grasshopper is open, and there are always Wanderers coming in, so please give me your names. Oh, while I spot them, we got some wood over there we need to unmark. Oh, and over there. Perfect. Right, so, first one that we have is Boruya. Boruya was an abandoned child, just noticed female member, perhaps Hawad is not the best name, but whatever, we'll go with it. Abandoned child, followed up by becoming a digger. So very good at mining and things like that. Good with animals and good at crafting. So kind of our general, they're kind of our general use one. Also, they're quite good at melee, which is quite nice. I told them all to go and get weapons before we started, so that's why they all have work that I've told them to do. Very neurotic, what's that? Does work quicker, that's good, but has a higher mental break threshold. Not good. Steadfast, so is mentally tough and won't break down under stresses that would crack most people. So actually that kind of counteracts the neurotic, so that only gives them 5% increase. And then chemical interest. Might become a drug addict, but perhaps not so good. But at the very least, going to be a very fast person at construction, which is quite nice. And they have a passion for it. Alright. We also have Dungurius Dungur Scallywurg. Alright. Who is also an abandoned child digger, which is fantastic. I like it. I like the combo. This one is also volatile, so has a lower mental break. Well, has more chance of having a mental break. And it's abrasive, so has more chance of causing other people to have mental breaks by just being rude. Alright. Good at melee and mining. So this is going to be a kind of general miner as well. Construction crafter. That sounds good. We also have Colton Perhala. So, Colton was an abandoned child. They're all abandoned childs. Their social is not going to be very high here. Then became a lore keeper. So, kind of artistic research, but also is very, very good at melee. So if we ever have a fight, as long as we get melee combat, we seem to be alright. Which is good, because that's kind of where we, like, our weapons aren't very good at range, so having good melee combat isn't necessarily bad. Heat tolerant, fantastic. We are in the desert again, as you'll see, however, we're at the beach this time. Not sure if that makes any difference, but we'll see. Maybe there are tsunamis and things, I don't know. Brawler, which makes them better at melee and increase their hit chance in melee. But they are lazy, so they'll work slower. So this is kind of our, looks like kind of a generic person with a little bit of fighter in if we need it. Then we have Koyoko Sakura, who was a reclusive child, followed by being a cave tender. So they're not very good at wardening, although this person wasn't abandoned. And then became a cave tender, so very good at kind of medicine, cooking. So yeah, this is going to be our general doctor slash cook, I imagine. And we'll kind of have them in the back most of the time. And maybe some crafting as a backup thing. Pyromaniac, don't like it. Definitely don't like Pyromaniac. But Brawler, again, quite good. I like Brawler. And then we have Grasshopper, who was a sole survivor. God, they didn't have a good childhood for most of these people. Apart from Koyoko. And then became a healer. Okay, so we got another medicine, but Koyoko is better at oh no, she's not. Yes, she is actually. She's better at medicine. So you're maybe our grower? Grasshopper being our grower, that's alright. Also is deaf, incapable of violent and scary, so... oh, she's psychically deaf, never mind. So that means that they're just not affected by psychic events. That's kind of good, I think. Although it means they don't get the good events, they will never have the bad events. Optimist. I like the extra mood. And then chemical fascination. Enjoys chemical sources of entertainment. Okay. Well, we'll set up all of their priorities in a minute. They're all currently just set at, we'll set them to manual, but they're all currently just set to 3, which isn't great. I prefer to give them actual stuff, but they should all really be on construction for the start of it anyway, because that's just generally what you want to do. Now, let's go down and explain my plan. It may look a little bit complicated, but hear me out. It's not that complicated once I go into it. We're going to start off... Basically, the problem we had last time was we kept having, like, fights we couldn't win. That was our main... we kept having, like, we kept getting into a situation where we had no defenses. We had no way to... we had no place to defend and no place to fight. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to build our defense area, and then each place that we build around is going to extend out. So this is going to be our base room. We're going to have our cooking area down here. We're going to have our cooking supply area in here. And then we're going to have a few recreational stuff and a table in there. So we'll have our cooking stuff right next to our table. Then that's going to move out from here. We're also going to have our original beds in here. We're going to move out into individual bedrooms. They're not very big, but they'll do for just now. And if we need them to be bigger later, we can always adapt. Like we can take away a wall or something. Make them bigger. Have like a side room for anything else. Also, if we have any that get into relationships, we'll take away the wall, and then there we go, we've got a bigger room for the two of them. This in here is going to be our stockpile, like our general stockpile. We can split it into different bits. Then we're going to come out here, and basically, also in each section, we're going to have like these little bits here, which are going to be our defense places. So we're going to be able to defend out from there. So here we'll do the same. Like you see, we've got a little defense place. We'll defend out through here. And then here's what my main plan is, to have like sandbags out there, and then we'll defend out. And that should allow us to have a lot of people in here. Basically, we'll expand, we'll expand, we'll expand, we'll expand, we'll expand. Only issue I have with this plan is that we are quite close to the edge of where we're allowed to build. I assume this is an allowed to build line, because you're not allowed to plan out here. So if we get... I assume that raiders will naturally not spawn here. But if they spawn here, we may have a problem where they could come in through the back. Which might be an issue. Might not. Depends how secure we make it. Anyway. Our initial plan is going to be a wall down here. A wall up here. To make our initial area. Maybe we want to build this wall first. So we'll kind of build out there, along here. Build those little bits. And then we'll have our central area. So let's set all of that to be built. So we're going to build with wood because we have a lot of wood. I'm going to go something like there. This isn't a wall that we need to make because this is just saying this is where your stockpile is going to be. We're then going to build just kind of along like this. Each of these holes is going to be a door. Build down here. Build down here. Now, we do need to decide what to do in this bit. Now, I think we want to leave them as holes so we can shoot out, which means that we're going to need to build some different walls in here as well. So something like a wall out into, like just down there. That seems like it would work. I was originally thinking we could maybe put a research table in there, but I think this maybe is needed more. And then it gives us a little corridor, which is quite nice. Maybe we'll disband the wall after we expand out into our first layer, and that would help. I don't know. Actually, let's cancel this. Still working out exactly where we'll put our research table in there. We want this to all be a room. If we want this to be a room, then what we should do is we should have doors there. Then our defense areas are kind of... I guess we need that one block made, and now we've got our defense areas. We can shoot out in either direction. Like, we can have person here, person here. We can kind of shoot out if they come from that way. Person here, and we can shoot out if they come from that way. Want to build a ton of doors. So we want door, 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 door. And one more wood wall. There we go. That's our base kind of setup. It's a little odd. We also have, if I go into zone things here, we're going to have our no roof area out here. So we're going to have like our first layer, then we're going to have our no roof area, and this is going to be our growing area. And basically, we'll have... These rooms don't need to be very well defended because we're not going to have a lot in them. Our stockpile maybe needs to be a little bit more defended, and that's why I prefer to have like this extra layer on the outside. But we're going to just retreat into here if anything bad happens. And then once we extend out into this area, we'll retreat into these bits and so on and so forth. And then if we need more growing area, then we expand out further, like we expand out into this area, and you get the idea. We also need beds. There are 5 of us, so let's build 5 beds. Furniture. And it doesn't really matter where we build them, because we're going to replace it, like, we're going to move them somewhere else later. It does kind of matter to me that they're at least lined up, but, there we go. We'll build the 5 beds. We also need to set a stockpile, so we will set our stockpile. Where is stockpile? Stockpile zone. It's in there. Right now we're just going to have 1, and then dumping stockpile. Where do we want that to be? It's just down here. This would kind of work, and then we'd have like a hole in our... I don't know, do we want a hole in our defenses down here, or do we want this to be a solid wall? If we want this to be a solid wall, we probably need our dumping stockpile to be like out here somewhere. Like, how about in this little area? That works. Maybe even make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Just a little bit away from the main group. And let's watch these colonists try and figure out exactly what I've just told them to do. So they all instantly grab the food and start eating. They all need beds, they're grabbing the wood, they're moving it down to construct stuff. Good, that's what I like to see. Building the beds first makes a lot of sense, Ancient danger. As Grasshopper nears the wall... Oh, there's an ancient danger at the other side of that wall. Definitely something I'm not entirely happy with, but good to know that we don't want to destroy it. Colton! Did you just... He made a bed and then just went to sleep in it. Wow. Okay. Well, whatever. I guess he was tired. Did any of us have medical conditions? I never checked that. No medical conditions for Borea. Dungar is frail. Alright. Colton had malnutrition and has several untreated bits of asthma. Koyoko is fine, and Grasshopper has an old gunshot wound in the leg. Okay. Oh, and medicine's already been given to Colton. Oh, he was resting because he was having his asthma attack. I see. But now they are treated, he is moving again. That's fine. We don't have anybody assigned to hunting or anything yet. We're just building this up. We are going to run out of food very quickly. And I realized that I have my recording display over the spot where resources would be, but we don't have anything in our stockpile anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Once this wall gets made, they should roof this automatically, as far as I'm aware. Oh, and once that door is made. Let's see what happens. It doesn't look like we have enough wood, actually. Let's get some more wood. So chop all of that, chop all of that, chop all of that, chop as much wood as you can. There we go. Let's see what happens. If we allow them to chop wood, they might actually build these things. You gonna chop some wood? There we go. And now they can start building the walls again. Good, good, good. It's nighttime. We almost have our first building made. Perfect. Yep, grabbed a little bit more for next door made. A little bit more eating of the bad food, and all of this is roofed, and we have an inside area to sleep in on night 1, which I quite like. I think that's a good night 1 kind of goal, is have somewhere to sleep in that isn't terrible. Okay, what else do we want to do? We probably want to set up work now. Now that we've actually got them in here, we want to set up some proper work schedules. And we want to set up some very basic things that we need. Like production, we need a butcher's table. Like, we just need one. It's not a question. Butcher's table's needed. We also need a fueled stove. And it has to go there. Right. We are going to set up a second stockpile soon. We should maybe even set it up now. No, we won't set it up now because everyone's sleeping in this room. Good point. We do have some animals as well. We have our male warg, which needs training in obedience, then probably hauling. We have Dala, which just needs training in well, actually can't even be made obedient because it's a cat. And we have another animal. We have Hotshot, our Yorkshire Terrier. We can make obedient, and then we can release it on people. There we go. Right. Let's up some work stuff. So, firefighting, as always, is #1 priority for everyone. It's just a thing you should do. Patient, #2 priority for everyone. Basically, there'll be a patient unless there's something drastic they need to be doing. Doctor. should probably be like a #1 priority for Kyoko, #2 priority for Grasshopper. Before anything else, like before even being a patient yourself, go be a doctor. Bed rest, 2. If you're tired, that's your next one. Unless you have something major to do, go and rest. Flick doesn't matter at all, we don't have electricity. Warden. I think we may only have 1 warden. Yeah, we have one who's alright. Make wardening like a 2nd one for Colton, 3rd one for Grasshopper. Handle, that can just be a 3. It's not really a drastic thing. And we'll just leave the 2 are currently on it. We'll put these on 4. They can have a 4 handle. Cooking. Cooking is fine. We should have 2 cooks, but you can be priority cook. Hunting. Now, hunting is an interesting one because we need somebody who's good at shooting. Now, I did give the person I thought was going to be a hunter a weapon. I think it was Dungar. Yeah, because he has 3 shooting, which is our highest. So currently has a bow, which he'll do. So he's currently like our main hunter, and we had a 2nd hunter, which I think is Boria. He's really not very good at it, but is able to use a bow. I guess would be his one priority thing. So we'll give him like a 3 hunting. Constructing. We have a 3. We have an 8. We have a 1. How about we go 2 constructing? You have 3 constructing, so you'll hunt unless you're construct. If you're told to hunt, you'll hunt. If you're not, you'll construct, probably. Unless you're handling animals. Repair. Again, probably the same, I would imagine. Growing. That's pretty much Grasshopper's domain, I think. Yeah. Let's say that is Grasshopper's one and then backed up by Colton. Mining. You're really good at mining. So yeah, in fact, before constructing, you would mine. You would probably mine after. I will put you at 2 for that as well. Plant cutting. Everyone should have plant cutting as like a minor thing. If it needs done, it needs done. Grasshopper can have it as slightly more priority, but not a big thing. Smithing doesn't matter. We don't have any smithing stuff, but probably you would have it as a 2. The other 2 have a 3. Art, or tailoring, sorry, first. You can have it. Art doesn't really matter. It's always a 4 skill. Crafting, yes, you can have it as a 2. The other 2 can have it as a 3. Hauling, everyone's got it as a 3. Although I kind of want a designated hauler. I think it should probably be Grasshopper. No, yeah, Grasshopper, you can haul. You don't have to construct anything anymore. So what we'll have is we'll have Grasshopper just permanently haul. Like anything that needs hauled, Grasshopper hauls it. Like, so they have to grow. They kind of like backup cook, but hauling is what they do. And also cleaning is pretty high priority as well. So they'll grow. The haul, actually, let's put it down to 2. So what they'll do is they will grow. If not, well, they'll doctor. If not doctoring, they'll grow. If not growing, they'll haul and they'll clean. Research. Do we have anyone who's good at it? We have like 6 research. Research should always be like a 4 skill for everybody. But we have a 5 research in here, didn't we? No. Okay, we only hit the 6. Grasshopper, you can have research at a 3. Sorry, you can research before you handle. Which probably means you'll never handle. But that's fine. That's fine. If at any point you weren't able to research, you would handle. That's fine. And that looks like we are all set up for a good colony. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this first episode, please consider leaving a like or a comment as it really helps with search rankings. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you next time.